Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. According to Sky Sports, Manchester United open discussions with Paul Pogba's representatives over a new contract. Paul Pogba's current contract expires next year, because last season we triggered that 1 year extension on his contract. Reports came out not so long ago saying that Man United fear losing Paul Pogba on a free transfer. We fear that he's running down his contract to leave on a 3. Solskjaer said not so long ago he hopes Paul Pogba stays at Manchester United and signs a new contract. Towards the end of last season, it said that Man United were willing to offer Paul Pogba a new £400,000 a week contract. It says Pogba was demanding in the excess of £500,000 a week. And he said, we will sell Pogba if he doesn't sign a new contract. There has been a lot of narratives about a swap deal involving Paul Pogba and Cristiano Ronaldo. Says Juventus are interested in bringing Paul Pogba back from Man United, but they'll have to sell Cristiano Ronaldo to afford Paul Pogba, because Pogba's price tag is £90 million. But Pogba's had a long-running transfer saga. He hadn't only been linked with a return to Juventus. Real Madrid have been relentlessly linked with him before. PSG have been in for him. Barcelona have been in for him. And Inter Milan before have been in for him. We've been getting the best out of Pogba in recent months. He does bring creativity to the team. And I think he's much better in an advanced role than he is in a deeper role. Pogba sustained a few injuries at Man United. He had a thigh injury last season. And he's sustained a couple of ankle injuries. As it stands at the moment, he is our most expensive signing because we paid £89 million for him, and Pogba's endured 5 seasons at the football club since he rejoined. Mino Raiola has obviously been desperate to get his client out of the football club. He was doing a lot of talking last season. He did come out and say that he doesn't give a fuck if he doesn't take another player to Man United as long as his clients are happy. Mino Raiola also came out and criticised Sir Alex Ferguson for forcing Pogba out of the club when he was younger. He also said last season he's got no intentions of destabilising his client's season, and he made an admission saying that he was working quietly on Paul Pogba's transfer to avoid offence. Because Mino Raiola doesn't have a good relationship with Man United, he's been criticised a lot. He also came out and said that Pogba wants to win trophies at Man United or at another top European club. And he made an announcement back in December last year regarding Pogba, and Solskjaer was furious with Mino Raiola's announcement because he was just before the game against RB Leipzig in the Champions League. So far, Pogba's won 3 trophies at the club. That's the Europa League, the League Cup and the Community Shield. Now, I want to delve into some more news on Jadon Sancho. So according to Simon Stone from the BBC, Manchester United have had a £67 million bid for Jadon Sancho rejected by Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund are demanding 78 million for Sancho plus add-ons. Fabrizio Romano has already said that Man United have reached an agreement with Jadon Sancho's. What?
What did he collect? 19?
Yeah.
6, 10. 10 for...
Yeah.
19 is it collected, didn't you?
Yeah.
So the rest of the houses are mine now.
Yeah.
So 19, 25.
Yeah. That'll do, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're paid now, so the rest of the houses are mine when I get them. So I don't need that one.
Alright.
But it's electric, man. It's not like dark till 10.
Yeah, but as I was saying, he says Man United have reached an agreement with Jadon Sancho's camp. The personal terms have been agreed with Jadon Sancho, and a 5-year contract has been agreed worth £350,000 a week. Man United do remain in negotiations with Borussia Dortmund over a sale for Jadon Sancho. If Man United haven't reached Borussia Dortmund's valuation for Jadon Sancho by the end of July, he will remain at Borussia Dortmund. Jadon Sancho has a gentleman's agreement with Borussia Dortmund to join Manchester United. Jadon Sancho did say that he wants his future resolved before the start of the Euros. Borussia Dortmund have been looking for replacements for Sancho. We've been in for Sancho now for like the last 2 years or so it has been a long-running transfer saga. I think this time round though we're going to get Sancho, because Dortmund have lowered their asking price, because obviously last summer Dortmund were demanding £108 million. We was only willing to pay so much up front, so was reluctant to meet their £108 million valuation. But last summer, he said the personal terms had been agreed, the agent fees had been agreed, and the contract had been agreed. Dortmund set a deadline last year. They said we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. We missed out on that deadline, so Sancho remained at Dortmund. He has endured 4 years at Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund paid just £7 million for him from Man City back in 2017. He endured a couple of years at Man City. The reason he left Man City is because he didn't get assured any first team opportunities, and before he was at City, he was at Watford. I think he was at Watford from the age of 7 to the age of 14. Sancho's got a contract with Dortmund until 2023. But he'll be a great signing for Manchester United because he'll fit in our team perfectly. He's predominantly a right winger, and Man United need a right winger. He'll exceed expectations in the Premier League. He will assure us goals. He's good at creating chances, and he's got a very, very good friendship with Marcus Rashford. You know, they do touch base with each other a lot. But yeah, once we can come to an agreement on a fee with Dortmund for Sancho, then I think it will be made official. If we don't get Sancho in this summer transfer window, I don't think we'll ever get him, but I'm pretty confident we will sign him. But Sancho isn't enough. You know, we need more than Sancho if we are to be challenging for the title next season. Manchester United could sign Kieran Trippier in this summer transfer window. Football Insider said not so long ago that Atletico Madrid rejected a £10 million bid for Kieran Trippier from Man United. Kieran Trippier recently told his England teammates that he wants to join Manchester United, and The Athletic said not so long ago that we begun negotiations with Kieran Trippier and he has been house hunting, so that's fueled speculation. The Manchester Evening News reported on it the other day, saying that we revived our interest in Kieran Trippier because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is unhappy with Wan-Bissaka's attacking output. Wan-Bissaka is the only recognised senior right back at Man United at the moment. We went in for Trippier in the January transfer window, but we cooled our interest because Kieran Trippier got banned by FIFA for breaching betting rules. Everton have been in for him and Arsenal have been in for him. I reckon we'd get Kieran Trippier for around £18 million. His current contract at Atletico Madrid expires next year. Atletico Madrid paid £20 million for him from Tottenham, and he won the La Liga with Atletico Madrid last season. He is the age of 30. Mundo Deportivo have said earlier on today that Real Madrid have lowered their asking price for Rafael Varane. They could accept around £43 million, which is an absolute bargain for a player of Varane's quality. Man United have already tabled a contract offer for Rafael Varane. It's €12 million a year, which equates to just over 10 million in pounds sterling. Real Madrid cannot meet these demands. Fabrizio Romano said not so long ago that Rafael Varane was refusing a contract at Real Madrid. His contract talks with Real Madrid stalled a while ago. Varane's current contract expires next year. I can assure that he is leaving Real Madrid. Not so long ago, Varane spoke out on his future. He said it's unlikely his future will be resolved for the summer's European Championships. Romano said towards the end of last season that Varane was the main name on our list, and we was waiting to see what happened with his situation at Real Madrid. Man United have held talks with his representatives. At the first, Real Madrid were demanding £60 million for Varane. Towards the end of last season, they rejected a £40 million bid. Varane would be a great signing for Manchester United because he's a centre-half and Man United need a centre-half. Varane is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. He'd complement Harry Maguire very well in our back line. He's highly experienced. He would exceed expectations in the Premier League, and he's got a great pedigree as a player. He's won 18 major honours at Real Madrid, so they are the reasons. He's been a long-serving player at Real Madrid. He's enjoyed like 10 years with them now, or over 10 years. Man United still want a centre-half despite Eric Bailly signing a new contract towards the end of last season. But yeah, the summer transfer window is open. It officially opened yesterday. And Solskjaer is aware of how big this summer transfer window is for himself and Manchester United in general. It's very imperative Solskjaer gets the players he wants to recommend in. This is Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager. I'm expecting Man United to be active in this summer transfer window, but I'm also expecting teams around us to be active. Solskjaer should get the backing he deserves anyway, reflecting on what our board recently said, because the board came out and said that they'll back Solskjaer with a new 3-year contract and summer signings, despite our Europa League final loss. And Solskjaer has been given a 150 million transfer budget to buy around 4 or 5 new players. Just before the transfer window opened, Solskjaer promised Man United transfers. I think he wants to make around 4 signings. If we recruit well in this summer transfer window, I'm very convinced we can challenge for the Premier League next season. Because next season is massive for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I think he is aware of that. I'd say next season Solskjaer has got to win a trophy at Manchester United if he is to remain Man United manager. Solskjaer's not yet won a trophy at Man United. We haven't won a trophy for 4 years. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. If we start next season off badly, then I think the pressure will be on Solskjaer and he probably will end up getting sacked. If we eventually decide to sack Solskjaer though, who's going to come in to replace him? I think we need someone in with a proven pedigree and someone who knows the strappings of the club. There is some Man United fans that are Ollie out, especially reflecting on that Europa League final loss. But I presume there's Man United fans that are Ollie in and they believe that he needs more time at the club. I think he does deserve next season. Next season is going to be his 3rd full season. Because Solskjaer's been in charge of Man United now almost 30 months. So he's been with us over 2 years and he has endured 2 full seasons. I'm expecting Man United to offload players in this summer transfer window. I think De Gea needs to go. But like I updated you earlier on today, De Gea's come out and said that he's convinced he'll stay at Man United and be Solskjaer's number 1 next season. I think we also need to loan Brandon Williams out. We need to offload Phil Jones. We need to get rid of Delors permanently. We need to get rid of Andres Pereira permanently. We need to offload Matic. We need to offload Van der Beek. Don't forget Van der Beek was recently ruled out of the Euros for the Netherlands with injury. And not so long ago it said that Van der Beek is set to hold showdown talks with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer regarding his future. I think we also need to offload Juan Mata. We need to offload Anthony Martial. I'd say we've got to offload Alex Telles as well, because he's played nowhere near as much as I expected. Obviously, when we got Telles last year, all United fans expected him to be our first choice left back, but it didn't happen. Luke Shaw still remains our first choice left back. But these good players at Manchester United, and there's players that have really, really improved. Luke Shaw, he was our best player last season. In a lot of his games, he showed very good attacking intent. He got into good positions. He put good crosses into the box. He created chances for his teammates. He provided width, and defensively he was superb. But towards the end of last season, he looked off the pace for like 3 games in a row. Shaw's had a good career at Man United despite his injuries. He's been at the club now for 7 years. So Luke Shaw's definitely improved. Dean Henderson, I think he's a very, very good goalkeeper. Did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. He kept quite a lot of clean sheets. His distribution was good. He made good saves and made some good aerial claims. The games that Dean Henderson was not good in last season was the 3-1 win against Burnley at Old Trafford. Looked very shaky off his line and he made some errors in the 4-2 defeat to Liverpool. But we did make the right decision putting Dean Henderson as number 1 because he's got that experience behind him. He endured two successful loans at Sheffield and he's had other loan spells before. Before the start of this last season, Henderson signed a 6-year contract with the club. So reflecting on that, he committed his future to Man United. Solskjaer's got a goalkeeping dilemma for next season if De Gea is still at Man United. You know, he might, if De Gea stays with us for next season, he may put De Gea as number 1 again, but I think we should stick with Dean Henderson. Eric Bailly, I think he's a very, very good centre-half, but my element of concern about Eric Bailly is too injury-prone, so in that aspect, he is a liability. Eric Bailly has been at the club around 5 years now, got him for 30 million from Villarreal back in 2016. Harry Maguire, certain aspects of his game have improved. Last season, I thought Maguire did well in the Derby defeat. He scored like 2 or 3 goals now, is it? Or 4 for Man United. He scored in the 2-0 win at Stamford Bridge, was it a few years ago now? Or it might have been last season, if I can remember rightly. And he scored in the 2-1 defeat to Sheffield United, which was last season. Harry Maguire was a big miss towards the end of last season because he had that ligament damage in his ankle. He sustained the ankle injury in the 3-1 win away at Aston Villa. We overpaid for Harry Maguire though. We got him in a deal worth 80 million. He's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and is the second most expensive signing at the club behind Paul Pogba. And Wan-Bissaka, I think he's improved. Defensively, he's always been superb, but Wan-Bissaka's got to show more in the attacking third. But there again, there was some games last season where Wan-Bissaka did show some good attacking intent, and he got into good positions and he put good crosses into the box. To be honest with you, Wan-Bissaka is one of the best right-backs we've had since Gary Neville, and I'm convinced he can emulate into the next Gary Neville. Next season will be Wan-Bissaka's 3rd full season because he's now endured 2 full seasons. We got Wan-Bissaka in a deal worth 50 million from Palace in the summer of 2019. I think McTominay has improved. His best game last season by far was the 6-2 win against Leeds because he made a difference in that game and he scored 2 goals. McTominay's not yet on that level though where I want him to be at. You know, still young, got a lot of development in him, need to give him more time. Just after the first lockdown last year, McTominay signed a 5-year deal, so reflecting on that, he committed his future to the club. Bruno Fernandez, obviously, he's very, very good. He's made the difference in this team. He really, really has. In a lot of his games at Man United, he has been very, very consistent. There's also been quite a few games where Fernandez has looked off the pace, but we have overplayed him. Fernandez has been at Man United around, is it 16, 17 months now? Won Player of the Year not so long ago. And he's won Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. Now, it's said towards the end of last season that Bruno Fernandez is set to sign a new contract at Man United worth £200,000 a week. So, reflecting on that, we're doubling his wages. Fernandez admitted that he's been happy with the progress of Solskjaer's team. Fernandez's current contract expires in 2025. There's an option of a further 12 months. We initially paid £47 million for Fernandez, but the overall cost with add-ons is just over £67 million. Fernandez is predominantly number 10, but he's our best player and he's one of the best signings we've made since Ferguson retired. Mason Greenwood has been an absolute revelation since he broke into our senior squad. Despite him going a long period without scoring a goal. Last season, Greenwood signed a 4-year deal. He made his senior debut for Man United in 2019, and he's been a United player since the age of 7, so he has been part of the club for a long time. But he is flourishing, his Greenwood. Sometimes we play him on the right, and sometimes we play him centrally. Edison Cavani's also very good. He's made an impact since he's come in. He really, really has. And I'm glad Cavani's staying for next season. Romano confirmed towards the end of last season that Cavani signed a 1-year deal with Man United. Rashford's good when he wants to be, but he's also endured his bad periods. You know. But Solskjaer, I've got my concerns about him. My two biggest concerns about him, he hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager, and his decision making also concerns me. Because in a lot of his games at Man United, he's been tactically naive and he made mistakes in the Europa League final. But there's also quite a lot of things I've got to credit Solskjaer for. I didn't expect Solskjaer to do as well as he has done, so in that aspect I'm shocked. You've got to say he's done a good job to say the current squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager. You know, he was inheriting a lot of deadwood and he's still inheriting some deadwood now. You know, in his second full season, which was last season, Solskjaer got us a second place finish. He got us to the Europa League final. I know we didn't win it, but he still got us to the final, and it was his first major final as Man United manager. Last season went the entire season without losing away from home in the league. That's a record. You know, last season got us to the FA Cup quarter-final and the EFL Cup semi-final. Ollie did well in his first full season, got us to 3 semi-finals, got us a 3rd place finish. We are into the Champions League for next season. That's good news from Man United perspective. Ollie's got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he's come in. He's also made good signings as Man United manager. So far, he's spent almost £300 million. Another thing I've got to credit Solskjaer for, when he got appointed in as Man United manager, he assured that everybody would get their chances to express themselves, including the young players, and more or less everybody has been given their chances. Solskjaer is lucky to still be Man United manager, to be honest with you. Especially with us losing that final. But the reason he's still Manchester United manager is because he's a club legend. That's what's basically saved him. Disregarding him being a club legend, I can almost assure he wouldn't have been here now. But reflecting now on his being at the club, he has gained some managerial experience. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you for today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.